Okay, I went ahead and attached it this way, and I'll go ahead and put my screw through into my servo and then swing it over and snug it down. You want to make sure you get this as close to the center as that as you can, and like I was saying, another way you could do it is run a long screw all the way through, or you put it in here. Anyway, you need to zero your servo before you put it on there, because if you don't, and you hook it up and turn your radio on and it hits the side, it could blow the gears right out of your servo. And especially using a plastic, this should be a metal geared servo. I just don't have one right now. So we'll run this one for now. So anyway, you can hook your radio up and get it zeroed that way, or if you have one of these guys, you can use it, and I usually set it about 15-20 so you can see it's moving. And usually your center stick is 1500, and so I haven't done many tricopter builds. It's been a lot of years since I've done one anyway. So I may want that at 1500, where that's where it is on clean flight. I'm going to go ahead and set it at 1520. That's usually my center point on servos, and we'll see how that turns out. So we'll see you at the next clip. Okay, at this point you should have went and flashed your board to clean flight. I did that on a separate video because I did run into some trouble doing that. And I did flash this style and the Atom board also. So anyway, some things I've changed. I went ahead and drilled these through and ran these screws because I wanted to use this power distribution board. And according to the directions, it runs the 5-volt through this to your board. So that's how you're powered up. These ESCs have no EBEX in them, and you want to use one of these anyway. So this has a buzzer on it. I have a video going through the two different boards, the 5-in-1s. So it has a 5-volt, 12-volt buzzer, and all your ESCs hook up, and your battery, and you can hook up 4 5-volt LEDs and control them by a switch, turn them on and off. Along with your buzzer, you can turn it on if you got it lost in the grass. So anyway, moving on here, I'm going to go ahead and mount these ESCs on top because they're kind of got a high failure rate, so I want to see if they even last. But in a final build, I'd mount them in here and then inside this box on the rear one. And on this rear tail, you want some soft wires, even if you have to solder in like I'm going to, because these are really stiff. So when this thing pivots, you have some play in that. And you want to keep it out of your props, but you want it to have some play. And I'm going to trim the top of this off so it ain't catching on that servo. And I think that's about all I've done for now. And I'll probably go ahead and cut these off eventually. And then I ran this through here. We'll see if that's a good or bad idea. But I'll get this pile of mess soldered in, and see you at that video. Okay, I've come to the point to soldering in the rest of the wires on the power distribution board. You can see up front here you have your 12-volt power and ground for your camera, and then I went ahead and then put in the 5-volt BEC that will run over to the control board. And then there's some LED taps. They're 5 volts for 5-volt to LEDs, and eventually I'll do something with the lights. And we'll see you at the next step. Okay, go ahead and open up your clean flight and plug in your board, and we will go in and adjust the servo. If you go to swing the tricopter and the tail's moving the wrong direction, this is where you're going to go in and fix it. If you move in your sticks and the tail's moving the wrong direction, go and reverse the servo and the radio itself. So get into your clean flight. Let's go down to your servo tab right here. And it's servo number 5. And I know this is a little confusing because you're going to plug in your servo to number 4 on your control board. But in clean flight, it's servo number 5. So anyway, if it is moving the wrong direction, you can see these are all at 100%. And then this one here is at minus 100%. And that reverses the direction of the servo, so when you swing the tricopter it goes the correct direction. So if you go to do a test launch and it's spinning in a crazy circle, that's why. Go in here and that will fix it. And then you have your endpoint adjustments here and here. For your travel, you can adjust it if it's moving too far, and if you need to center it, which I haven't done any of that yet, you can center it. You have to do an offset. And I will try and post a video on doing the tail adjustment on that part once I get it flying. So we'll see you on the next video.